Hi everyone, welcome to Amaranth. These are general messages for the collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus and Jupiter placement. Let's get into it. So the first card you have, Virgo, is number 6, which is criticism, and number 6 is the house of Virgos. If you see on the left, there is a glyph. On the left bottom, there is a glyph for Mars. And on the right side, there is a glyph for Virgo. So it's Mars being active in your sign. That's the kind of energy that you're working with at this point in time. So I feel Virgos, if you look at the picture, there is an eye that is, looking constantly, that's fixated on this bouquet of flowers, right? Trying to analyze every single detail of the bouquet. And there you see on the upper right corner, there is a finger that is pointing to this figure's necklace that she's wearing. So I feel that, over here further for you, Virgo, it says refinement, truth, and progress. And then further says, my discernment is a gift. I refine, I uplift, I create excellence. And that's what this energy is all about. It's like fine-tuning things after getting feedback. And even when you get a little difficult feedback, it's not about being harsh with yourself. It's just to analyze, right? To be more aware of how you're doing things and where there is room for further growth and improvisation. So anytime we get any kind of a feedback, it doesn't have to paralyze us or to demotivate us to go forward. Instead, that can be used to, excel in things, to better things. This could be in your workplace, where at this point in time you are seeing things what other people are missing, I feel. So, or this could be that there is some kind of a feedback that's going around. A lot of companies have these peer reviews that are done. Like one team will do something and then the other team will peer review their work, because just to be more accountable, just to know that things are going on track and in the right ways. It's not about finding flaws. It's about ensuring that the product that's being created is, is held to high standards. So I feel that this energy is more about improving systems. You could be improving systems at work. You could be streamlining processes. And these days, even there's a lot of fact-checking which is going on. I had heard about, even the journalists, like when they report incidences, there's a lot of incidences which are reported falsely. So in order to make sure that the news that is going out to the public is correct, there's a lot of fact-checking which is going on, even in the journalist industry. There is also a lot of, in general, when people or leaders or, in the community or in the workplace are criticized. I would not say in a negative way, but yes, sometimes people don't realize what they're doing. They end up doing the wrong things. And then when people come together and analyze that it was not done in the best interest or it was not done correctly, then there is room for systems to be improved, mitigating all those problems that happened in the past. And you could be giving feedback. You could be into teaching or mentoring industry as well. I personally have heard this from a lot of teachers. When they provide feedback or this reviews to the students, and sometimes it's heartbreaking for the teachers themselves to provide some harsh reviews, but it's for the betterment of the students, and that moment students don't realize that it hurts. But later on, when they look back and they realize that it was that, the negative review or the harsh review that was given to them led them to be masters in their domains, in their fields. So you could be actually helping people grow by pointing them to, I would say, by inspiring them to do better or to find solutions that are more modern day. You could be... I do feel that it's not negative energy. It's like helping other people to see where they can improve, where they can change, whether it's in their own personal lives. You could be counselors and mentors that way as well, where you're trying to, or personality development people, where you're trying to see how people can better themselves, how they can rise better, how they can, so it's more about uplifting people through feedback. For some of you, this could be in your own projects where you are, seeing things with 360 degrees viewpoint, where you're trying to find problem areas in your own creation and see how you can better it, how you can find better solutions. Some of you might also be trying to simplify things at home as well, maybe declutter things or have some simplified process to make life a little bit easier for you. Maybe home improvements or some structural improvements at your home as well. This could also be fine-tuning your own dietary habits, Virgos. You could be working on some kind of a fitness plan. It's a little bit of being too hard on yourself. So be mindful of that. Don't be too critical of yourself, because sometimes this energy could go to the extreme. Now, some of you might also be doctors, in the sense of surgeons, where a lot of precision is required, right? Because Mars is giving you that energy out there. And I feel that some of you could be in the medicine industry where you're trying to perform surgeries or learning about surgeries, but a lot of precision is required. So some of you could be in that as well. Or this could be in the, in the auto industry as well, where a lot of precision and auto industry, or even, those assembling things like planes or the tools or something, where a lot of precision is required. Each nut board has to be assembled correctly. So because of this eye to detail that you have right now, or even Virgos in general, you have it, I feel that at this point in time, since there's a lot of forward movement in that area, I feel that you will be recognized for, things that you see that other people miss, or in the way you analyze things, or in the way that you present things, in terms of where there is room for growth, where are the loopholes that can be improved upon. And for some of you, this could be very strongly in your own health, as well as what's coming through with this. You might be monitoring your health. You might be looking up different areas of changing your health or controlling your diet in some way. The only caveat is, Virgos, that sometimes, you take it next level, like you set some impossible standards for you to achieve. And that becomes, a little bit difficult or a danger to your own self, because it could make you a little bit, uncomfortable because of those high standards that you're setting for yourself. Or you might even be too pressured by your own goals that you have. So take it easy, pace those goals out, and there is no need to rush with things. And some of you actually could be like, looking at details, analyzing things before you launch a market product. But this is a very powerful stage or energy that you are in right now, Virgos, because this is just that moment where things are shaping up, the moment right before elements turn to bold. So this energy will push you into brilliance, into achieving that, that bold hallmark, or that high standard, that are recognized by the people or the market industry. Some of you might be working towards achieving those bold standards in the industry or for your practices even. The next card you have, Virgo, is the thread. And this is number 30. So the number 3 is coming through strong. It further says, I follow the thread of purpose, and it always leads me back to truth. So that's what this energy is about. Looking at the picture, it completely reminds me of the red thread. I don't know if you've seen the show Dark. It's a German series. In that, there is a similar kind of a red thread, that actually it's a motif of that series. And it actually becomes, a symbol that connects the, time and destiny, and everything is interconnected, just like, the thread between us and the divine, the thread between us and the universe, between the world, the earth, and the cosmos. It's that kind of a thread that connects us. I feel that, Virgos, this is like, picking up where you left off. it's like reconnection energy over here means that some of you might have felt like, why am I doing this? Especially in moments when we feel lost. We have to regain perspective as to why we started it in the first place, why we did that in the first place. So there is a reconnection or a reflection energy with this. Like, it's like finding, it's like answering the why of your choices or where you are. It's like, why did I take up this skill? And then you think back like, oh, this was the reason why I picked up the skill. It happens sometimes. And then it gives us another reason for us to better it and things like that, especially in moments when you're lost or burnt out. We kind of look back and, we think, why did I do this? Why did I start this? Why did I get into this? Whether it's a company or whether it's a project or a hobby or something like that, especially, when things are not working out and there's so much struggle going on, we always ask ourselves, like, why did we get into this? Some of you could be also, some of you could actually be into some kind of a thread industry where you're weaving or a stitching or things like that. This could also be connecting the dots. It's like, oh, this happened and then this and this, it led me to this. So it's about seeing that connection. For some of you, this could be actually connecting the dots at your work. It's like, oh, this, if I do this, then it will have this impact and that impact. It's that thread that we connect. Like, for example, even in stocks, in companies, if the company is doing well, the stock goes up. That's the thread. If the company doesn't do well, the stocks go down. So within the company, the people are constantly thinking of, why did they do that? And, how can they, connect all of those failures and create something more meaningful out of it, something more better out of it. Some of you, I feel, are also could be studying like the ancestry or your lineage, where you belong, the practices, the traditions, or even spiritual practices. You're trying to understand, like, you're trying to figure out the bigger picture of your life's tapestry. It could be that, like, what are you meant to do? Where are you meant to be? What's your purpose? If you remember that, Oprah Winfrey said one thing that resonates, it stuck with me. She said, she always spoke about finding your thread of purpose, like, what is strongly pulling at your heart? What is the purpose and the connection that you want to pursue? And I'm also getting an energy where some of you might be in two different fields. Like, some of you might be psychologists, or some of you might be counselors, or some of you might be also artists. So you're tying up those two fields together and creating something, which is a blend of two energies. It's like connecting the two pieces that could be quite different, or doesn't have to be quite different, but two different pieces, two different domains that have no relevance to each other, and you're connecting those two and creating something out of it. And for some of you, this could be connecting or reconnecting back to, your family traditions, people that you lost touch with. You might be picking up that again. It's like when you meet people after a long time, we pick up where we left off. It's a kind of energy, right? It's like, oh, we haven't spoken for a year or two, but it doesn't feel like that. So some of you might be going back to people or things and picking up the thread from there. So basically, this red thread out here, in short, is like, getting clarity over things, understanding your higher purpose. What are you called to do, And, even the Virgos, you have that precision energy. Already we saw that with the critic energy on here. So you have that eye for detail. Now you're trying to, you have that eye for detail, but you're not getting lost in those details. You're still seeing the bigger picture of things. And in those moments where you feel like you're lost or you feel scattered in your thoughts or energy, I feel there is something, that thread that's pulling you back to what you're meant to do, back to your essence, back to your purpose. It's something like guiding, something that is guiding you. The next card you have, Virgo, is the Empress. This is number 3. This is major arcana, ruled by Venus. So Venus is, Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus. It further says here, I honor the cycles of nature and nurture beauty in all forms. So Virgos, you are the earth sign as well, ruled by Mercury, right? So I feel that this Empress energy, if you look in the picture, she has a scepter. But somehow that scepter, appears to me as a camera. So some of you could be actually working with cameras or photography, out in the nature photography. But otherwise, this energy is more about, creating a fertile, creating a, I would say, a life of growth for yourself, right? Something that will grow for you, whether, by putting in small efforts, and creating something that will grow. So it's about nurturing the smaller things, small or big things. It could be anything, but it's about nurturing it on a daily basis or on a regular basis. Whether it's nurturing your environment, and it could be because it's a nature-based energy out here. So you could be nurturing your environment, doing some landscaping or mowing your lawn, or just out there in the nature enjoying yourself. This could also be, creating. This is a very creative energy. So you could be creating projects that are environmental based or eco-friendly. This could be into farming. I see a lot of harvest crops ready to be harvested. So you could be into agriculture, farming, and, practices involving that, some sustainable farming practices. This could also be fashion. This lady out here, the Empress, is wearing such a beautiful gown. I feel that some of you could be into that energy of trying up new combinations or matching up gowns and capes like that, coats like that. This also reminds me of something related to sustainable fashion, not the fast forward fashion, not like that, something that's sustainable. You could be into that as well. I'm also getting that some of you could be trying out, yoga practices or even bowing your own food. There's a movement going on in the world right now about wellness, wellness initiatives, whether it's wellness through diet or exercise or yoga or meditation, something that aligns us with the nature or the natural rhythms of this world, of the day. It's like living in the farms or living in small communities and neighborhoods where there is slow living, where you get to nurture your own self, take care of your own self. And this could also be, using some, living in a very, using things that are eco-friendly, eco-conscious living. Like you might be biking a lot so that you don't burn gas, or you might be driving some electric cars in order to be more eco-friendly, something like that. But on the other hand, some of you could also be into nurturing kids or pets, finding joys in those small little things, where we spend time, we just enjoy ourselves with our pets, walking outside in the nature. Or this could be also, Eat, Pray, Love, the movie, Julia Roberts. That's the perfect thing that comes to mind right now. Eat, Pray, Love, eating, connecting with food and pray, spiritual vibes out there. And then love, giving love, nourishing people, Virgo is for you, because your Mercury rules. Sometimes you get very intellectual, lost in work and details and things like that. But this energy is encouraging you to be, taking care of yourself as well. Mind, body, soul, aligning your mind, body, soul, taking care of it through either spiritual practices or holistic practices, or just, just making maybe you're decluttering your environment and making it like minimalistic or clean or very nature-like. You could be bringing in plants home, or, maybe you could be interested in cooking more healthy things, or doing things like, hobbies that are knitting and weaving. You already saw that through your prior cards. That's again coming through. Some of you could be creating fashion brands and things like that, but something that is nourishing to your mind, to your body, to your soul. You could be having those routines that align with nourishing yourself and others. It's that happy Friday vibes where we feel just happy now, where now we can spend time with ourselves, do things that we want to do. It's a very happy Friday kind of a vibe, right? Where we can go out, have the massages, watch a movie, and, just feel abundant in the small little joys and pleasures. And some of you could actually be nurturing the projects out there or people like, it's like, if you watch the Shark Tank, they are there to, help the upcoming startups or people or entrepreneurs. They help them. They nurture those projects, right? And in turn, they build relationships and bonds with people. They connect more growing networks. And it's that kind of an energy. Some of you could be into that as well. And spending more time with nature. Just, when we go out there, we release so much of stress when we're out there in the woods or in nature or hiking or trekking. We ground ourselves in ways that we don't even know, but we feel nice and, relief when we're out there in the nature. So I feel you are doing that, or you will be doing that in the next few days. And I feel this could be something that you take to, going forward, kind of create a routine that values all of these things day to day, on a day-to-day basis. And the last card for today, Virgos, you have is laugh as much as you breathe, love as long as you live, have fun, enjoy life, nurture relationships. And see, the sun has come out here, that's whistling away, wearing glasses and surfing. So yeah, this is just that. Don't get burnt out. Don't get lost in work, or thinking too much or just fixing things, or don't be the problem solver all the time. Just take that moment to enjoy yourself, to laugh, to connect with people, enjoy food, hobbies, and having fun, just celebrate the joy of being and, just being, not doing, not just doing. Because Virgos, fun is not a frivolous thing, nothing to be guilty about having fun. It's a sacred energy, right? Because when we laugh, when we enjoy ourselves, when we connect with people, we nurture our relationships, it keeps our energy up and high. It keeps our hearts open. It keeps our heart chakra green. So plan those picnics with your folks, have those game nights or have those dinner parties, their barbecues, whatever at home. And even at work, you don't have to be all the time go, go, go. You can just go out with your team, go have, team building events, or just enjoy some happy hours with people, or just, or also just, create a lighthearted atmosphere where everybody is, enjoying what they're doing. It's a very playful, lighthearted energy where people connect with each other, they bond with each other, rather than having those strict go, go, go deadlines or even stricter routines at home. It's like, just go with the flow. So just remember, fun is sacred. Okay, so those were your messages, Virgos. And these being general messages, they will resonate differently for each one of you. Let me know how these energies play out in your life in the comments below. And hope you enjoyed your messages, Virgos. So thank you guys for joining. Please subscribe and hit the like if you enjoyed the content, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye for now.